Hi everyone, Joe from Britical Saiyans here, and today we're going through an updated version of the Goku Black deck profile. So obviously this thing has had some new stuff added to it thanks to Crossworlds, and it means that we have some more Goku Blacks and Zamasus to play with. Take that as you want. And so we'll go in by starting with the leader as always. So Goku Black has an active main which once per turn, if you have 2 or more blue energy, choose one card in your life, place it into the energy, and then at the end of your turn choose one of your energy and place it in drop. So the thing about adding new cards, they're green, which means this isn't as easy to do, but I'm still keeping it mostly blue, partially for that. And then he awakens at 4 by drawing 2 cards into Goku Black, Bringer of Despair. So now it's the permanent of during your turn, if you have 2 or less life, this card gains 5,000 power and double strike, so quite good at the end game. And he has the auto of when this card attacks, draw 1 card. So starting off with the X cards, we have 2 copies of Senzu Bean. So Senzu Bean is quite a staple for blue. So active battle, choose to one of your cards. It gains 5,000 power for the duration of the turn, then choose 2 of your energy and switch them back to active mode. So always handy. There's 4 copies of our favourite negate, Whis' Coercion. So as you all know, pay blue energy to play it out, negate the attack, then choose an energy and switch back to active. So you basically just untap the one that you paid for it unless you need a different one. But most of the time, if you're just playing Whis' Coercion, you just don't tap the energy because it doesn't tend to matter. Moving on to 2-drop ones, we have 2 copies of Mafuba. So we used to run this at 3, but now it's gone down to 2 because of like being able to play it. But it's still a useful card. So counter battle card's attack, you negate the attack, then place this on top of the attacking card. At the end of your opponent's next turn, place this card in the drop. As long as this card stacks on top of other cards, that card is treated as a battle card, but its skills are negated, and it's just like, it just can't do anything but stand up. So, pretty useful. We have 2 copies of Objection. So this is useful early game, and then later on in the game it just becomes a bit of fodder. So active main, choose up to 1 card from your hand, place it in energy. So if you want to, you go up to 3, etc. Just a bit handy to add a bit of energy ramp. And finally we have 2 copies of Time Ring. So don't really run this at 4 because it tends to be quite easy to find Goku Blacks and Zamasus, but it's still handy. So active main, look at top 10 cards, choose up to 1 Goku Black or Zamasu from among them. If you have 4 more energy, you choose 2 instead, and then you add the chosen cards to your hand and shuffle. So moving on to the battle cards. For the 1-drop, we have 4 copies of Dear Old Gowasu. So Gowasu is a very useful card, obviously. It's good for this deck because of his auto of when you play this card, look at top 3, choose a god, add it to your hand, and then shuffle. So this basically covers everything in the deck because Goku Black and Zamasu are gods, and trying to keep to the pattern, I've played as many like useful god bits as I can for this deck. But it's all about spacing as well. So going on to the 2-drops, starting with our super combo, we have 4 copies of Boost Attack Piccolo. Personally, my preferred blue super combo, just because of like its simplicity, makes it so like useful. So when you come up with this card, if your leader is blue and your life's at 4 or less, draw a card, give 10,000 common power to this card for the duration of the turn. So simple but useful. Next we have 3 copies of Evil Psyche Zamasu. So this is a new one that's came out in the Crossworlds. So he's a 2-drop blocker with 5000 power. He's also got indestructible and barrier, so he's sticking on the board unless something just like clears a group. However, he does have a rather hindering permanent, which is this card can't be switched back to active mode, and you can only play one in the battle area at a time. So you play one, and that's your one. The other two are just like energy fodder or combo fodder, but it's useful for the Goku Blacks, and obviously if we go into a bigger Zamasu, we can play another. So that's why he's here. Don't want to run any more than that because of how much he can clog up. So next we have 3 copies of Unyielding Spirit Trunks. So Trunks is here purely for his combo ability, which is during your turn when you combo with his card, if your leader is blue, choose it from one of your energy and switch it to active mode. So obviously as I go on, there'll be a few evolution cards that require a lot of energy, and it's just generally helpful to be able to untap energy that you've used so that you have it for your opponent's turn, and that's why you run the 3. Finally, in the 2-drops we have 4 copies of Warrior of the Gods Goku Black, thus starting off our nice little collection. So Goku Black has the permanent skill, is Zamasu is in your battle area. This card can't be KO'd by your opponent's skills and does not leave the battle area due to skills. So the only way your opponent's killing this thing once Zamasu hits the board is through brute force. Other than that, it's just useful, and it's our go-to for the Union Patoras. So that's why we like to run 4. It's just a nice little thing to have in there. Going into the 3-drop, and I say drop because there's only like 1 card in that factor, we have 4 copies of Terracype Goku Black. Actually, one of them's our nice little reverse one. So Terracype Goku Black, like for this deck and quite a lot of other decks, made an impact. Just very useful card. So it's 3 drops 50k power, and you also when you play a card, you can play Shadow Token. Shadow Token has a 2 combo, 5000 power, and they have a power of 10,000, so 20 or you can combo for 5 power. Then they choose one of the masters in the deck as you can. If you choose them, choose one card you can and play the drop over the shuffle. So you get certain form of this card, which is useful because it means that you have to probably look through and really want to discuss what the found if it's been the death. But like mostly in there we've got our shadow tokens, so you can play our tokens, and then if we've got enough energy afterwards, like a people using cards to Dora, there we go, by 2 tokens, and you can that's why we want 4, which is a very useful card, and we want to see him, and being able to search up the masters is really handy as well, because you've got timing, but being able to have like a permanent card that can do that for one time as well is also very useful, and you don't have to like go to the top 10 and pick what we want, and now you have less of a tool. So moving on to the 4 drops, we have 2 copies of Reach the Rescue Attendant. So recently here just for a little bit of like energy ramping. So you have also your Winter card, you have some card for investing energy, so very easy to the on-play and energy, and then following up which is combo followed by go off. Very good card anyway. We don't want to miss the top there. We also have 2 copies of the Britical card. So you see 20k blocker. The input of this card can be carried by the first skill, and there's on the power new skill. So again, another one that applies to brute force as well, but 20k blocker, which is basically instructing the card to have a battle area by 1. So obviously we have to go to Black leader, so we can play him for 3 energy and just start swinging at stuff. It doesn't matter if I'm going to the back because I'm going on there on end, because these instructables can like pure follicles are exhausted. It's like, oh well, you can't do this market. There we go, pumped off. So another one that you can run more. Moving on to our next drop, and starting by 7 drops we have Twist and Justice, use the Master and 3 dropping. So the 25 big power, unit of 5, 1 is 3 energy, onto the good strike and Master, deals double strike and indestructible, and you want to deal 1 playing card, choose 2 of your opponent's back cards, or 2 cards in your opponent's hand, your opponent places all the good cards into the drop area. So, very good at getting rid of stuff. The opponent fill up a hand, play this out, reduce it, if you've got different boards, then deal. It's very useful for the fact that you're going to pay 5 for it, so it comes up a lot cheaper. And I found that playing this card has not only been very useful, but it's not been very difficult to play either, because of how low the range stuff is. Like, it's not difficult to get out. We can easily do it on 5 or 6 energy, depending on how to play. If we've gone for, like, the Royal Dog, the Master and the Psyche, that's in 4 energy, so we can 5 energy turn, we can bring up this. Those cause some main disruption, and because of the character in the Master as well, we can play another on top of another. So, very versatile card, and good addition to the deck. So moving on to the 8 drop, we have 2 copies of Unstoppable Surgeons like Rode. So he has evolved to 7 onto the Goku Black, Triple Strike, and especially half effectively Triple Strike is very nasty to try and stop. And he also goes off with a card box. This card is Goku Black, choose your opponents that are energy and place them in the drop. So obviously very useful when this is our leader. It'd be nice to run him in as a Masu, but you know, Goku Black's secretly better. There, I said it. So yeah, you bring this out, tank 3 of their energy, which they might have left untapped, or you just get rid of any untapped energy you can, and then you swing this out, deal some damage. If you win, hey, nice. If not, it's still quite a nasty surprise. So, but I only run the 2 because we're mostly going for the Goku Black Zamasu fusions. It's just this is a nice alternative route to go. And finally, going on to the 10 drop, we have 3 copies of it. The Infinite Force Fuse Zamasu. So this card immediately gets the thumbs down from Matt. He's going to be the only dislike on this video. So this is a nice piece of work. He's 30k power, unit patrol for 7, 3 energy being blue onto a Goku Black and Zamasu obviously, which as we all know now, there's a lot more targets for, including big guns. Indestructible as part of being the part of the Zamasu family. The other skill, when this card attacks, choose up to 1 card each from your opponent's battle area, battle cards only, energy, life and hand, and place them to the bottom of their deck in any order. So you don't get to see like their life and hand obviously, because they're not allowed to reveal it and you're not allowed to just take a peek. But otherwise this is a nasty piece of work. Tends to be a win con as well, because you just take your opponent down to 1 life and just be like, oh, kill, or you just play it over time. Like, they can't stop it unless they go, oh, Mafuba, but that just stops it for a turn, which is like, okay, they gotta win that turn. Or I just hold out for the turn, come back in with this guy. So run at 3 for the consistency, If you haven't fought, it tends to clog. The only thing I could think of taking them out so that you could run for is one of these, because it's basically the same sort of deal in playing it, but this one's very useful, and the 10 drop obviously is a nasty piece of work that we want to see and do some damage with, so definitely put this in if you're going for this sort of variant. And with that, that is the end of our Goku Black deck profile. So as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.